we want to be a part of making that slice of cake bigger, and that's why, in a sense, the Refugee Centre as a charity and its Social Enterprise and Technology Centre are just coming home to Hillfields. They're harsh economic and political wins for my client group, and there's no better place to shelter from harsh economic and political winds than in the community that first gave our clients sanctuary, and that community, above all others in our city, deserves our help in unlocking wealth creating potential for our clients. Now, how have we done this, and how are we going to do this looking forward? SET started effective operations in April 2011, when the Transitional Fund, a government fund created ostensibly to help charities who'd lost lots of taxpayer income, and we at the Refugee Centre had lost lots, and by lots we mean to the tune of about £150,000 to £200,000 of taxpayer income in the space of about 2 years. The Transitional Fund offered a small grant of £100,000 or so to see if charities could find a way of making up the lost income. We proposed a social enterprise model, and SET was the result. But from the outset, we've sought to actually do, rather than contemplate what partnerships and networks might be possible. We found that business is best left to form its own relationships based on what is there in terms of market, customer demand, etc. And you can see that in the first 3 businesses that we've launched from the SET Centre. LingoLinks is a translating and interpreting company. Obviously, a charity like ours that boasts that we have clients from 89 different countries of origin, that amongst a staff team of less than 30, we speak something like 25 different languages, is going to have access to a good skill set when it comes to interpreting and translation. What we also know, and our market research confirms this, is because of the unregulated nature of the industry, an awful lot of interpreting and translating is provided at a cost with no quality control element. We set out to create a gold standard service, the reason being we not only want the business, we know that that business will serve our clients, and our clients are our core charitable objectives. So we've created a gold standard service and we're winning business. It's very important to get interpreting and translation right. In areas of criminal justice, for instance, it can mean the difference between freedom and prison. LingoLinks is now in the 2nd year of its development and is exceeding its performance targets. The second enterprise, or actually the first enterprise we set up, because LingoLinks was the second, was the Refugee Housing Project. Our clients have housing needs. Many of them have status, in other words, they have the right to acquire and receive housing and welfare services, the right to work, because they've been given refugee status. What happened to those clients? We found at the end of the day they were not a priority either for local council services, and shockingly even for other charities who specialised in housing. So we have a need, a demand from customers who can pay, albeit either from working and having to pay out of their salaries or paying their rent through housing benefit. As a charity, we received something like 400 to 500 such requests for housing every calendar year. We simply provided this golden meal ticket to private landlords and social housing providers for no cost at all to them. And at the end of the day, in many cases, our clients were then coming back to us, often complaining about landlord services. That was an ideal market opportunity for us. Our clients trust us, they have long-standing relationships with us, and we trust them. We know that as a tenants group, our clients are amongst the best tenants. They're not students, so they're not like the young ones. They don't do midnight flits. They haven't been here long enough to just remain in a tenancy on long-term welfare dependency. They're often setting up their first home, and like most migrants and refugees coming to a new place, are extremely proud of their first home, whether it's a tenancy or not. And it's a stepping stone to them across the bridge that our charity hopes to create for all our clients and to escort them across from stranger to citizen. So the housing project. We started with 8 units on April the 14th, 2010. By the time SET was established, April 2011, we had a plan to increase those units. We now have, as we get to March, April 2012, 30 units. In 2012-13, we aim to double that again to 60 units. We are operating as a landlord. We don't have the same difficulties as private and other social landlords because of the relationship we have with our clients. So it seems to us we can continue to make that business successful. We're now looking to invest our reserves in acquiring houses to house our clients. So the housing project will go on. Probably the most exciting of the businesses we've currently have within the Social Enterprise and Technology Centre is the emerging strategic business partnership between the charity's trading arm and SET with Better Local Services, an independent community interest company who have developed expertise in technology and business applications. We have negotiated with Better Local Services a franchise agreement over their technologies and business applications. We now hope that the next stage of our development of social enterprise in this locality of Hillfields will include a stronger and wider commitment to the economic well-being of all the peoples of Hillfields, not just refugees and migrants. We aim, and we found this out with housing, we have units in Hillfields, and an awful lot of the residents of Hillfields are dependent on rented housing. Other than the social housing, which is run by housing associations, we found private landlords also owned property in Hillfields, hundreds of houses. But when they collected the rent, it went to a nicer part of Coventry because the landlord took it with him. We intend to use the profits of our social enterprises to continue to try and keep the pound local. The human beings and the communities of Hillfields are no different to the human beings and communities of the better off areas of Coventry in terms of their needs, their aspirations. What is different is that the wealth these communities create does not stay in these communities. And if you also stepped outside of my social enterprise and technology site in Hillfields, you will see the attempts by new communities to create micro businesses, whether they're little African cyber cafes, an Iranian bakery, etc. What you will not see is the branding or flag of any global corporation or bank. And that's because they have given up on these communities. We haven't, and we intend to join with these communities to create a wealthy Hillfields. That ultimately is an aspiration of the charity and the Social Enterprise and Technology Centre, and to do so with as much creativity, innovation and unlocking of potential as possible. Thank you.